No one talks about what an awakening really is, so I would like to share that with you because I think a lot of people are just like, yeah, la la la, spirituality. And no, it's actually terrifying shit, okay? So here's what awakening actually is. It's like when you're going through a complete breakdown, like your life is collapsing in on itself and you think you're gonna die. And seriously, like you're in the dark night of the soul. So it is when this kind of tower, like let's say there's this tower that you have created and it just kind of comes crumbling down, right? Where you're realizing a lot of stuff like that you thought you had stability in or that you thought would make you happy, but it doesn't. And you're just kind of like waking up to the idea that you're not happy. You feel dead inside. Happiness is somewhere else. You feel separate from self. So there is your higher self that is literally just fucking happy, right? And this is your divine self. And this divine self is love. I'm going to just make that the nose, but it's love, happy, faiths. And that's your true self. And we get separated from that true self because we get in this box of conditions and programming that we were conditioned into when we were born, right? We were told to be this way and that way, punishment and reward, and here's the system. And if you're a woman, you have to act this way, and if you're a man, you have to act this way. And then on top of that, you were given ancestral trauma, which is, patterns of not love from your lineage, because we were born into a world of sin and a world of negativity and fear and control. That's the system we were born into, control. Fear, and how they control you is fear. So we are kind of put into this box, and this is our matrix identity, right? And then we go along and we play that role, right? And if you had a decent identity that you were given from your family and your peers and your community, cool. You get to be the jock and you play that role and whatever it is, or you get to be whatever you want to be. But like, let's say this conditioning was not in alignment with who you really are. Let's say that you had to be different from this divine, free, loving, wild spirit self, because this divine self is an artist, a wild, free spirit that is creating and doing things and enjoying their life. And this person is not. So what is the separation? It is the conditioning. So what happens in the awakening is that this box literally explodes open. Because you're like, what the heck is going on? And it's like everything collapses and all of a sudden you have to be with the parts of yourself that you suppressed. So all those emotions that you suppressed that kept you from that happy self, and you didn't do it on purpose. We were born into an unemotionally intelligent society that did not honor the feminine. And that's why we have a bunch of sad people. Because the feminine is our hearts and our love. Yeah? So when we suppress that in society, we retard ourselves. Okay? Like, that's what it actually means. We stifle ourselves. We push ourselves down. We do not let ourselves be who we are and express ourselves and in our authentic truth, because we were not taught to be that way. We were taught to be this way. So at some point, those feelings, your neglected body, your neglected heart, is going to blow up. It's going to blow up when you can no longer force yourself to be a certain role in reality. That person that you thought would be success, you know? I will be successful when I have this goal accomplished, and you have this checklist, but you know, you have this checklist, but you're not happy. And why is that? Because you're not operating from there, you're operating from here. So when you have an awakening, this blows off, and this is Pandora's box, what I like to call. It's like all of your stuff going, bah! Like it cannot be contained anymore. And this is making you realize that this identity, this is where you literally are losing this identity. This is Thomas Anderson, and this is Neo in the Matrix, right? And Thomas Anderson is in the Matrix. But what actually happens, right, is that Morpheus doesn't come get you on a ship. It's when your feelings, your Pandora's box opens up, and it's triggered by loss. It's triggered by anger, by pain. It's triggered by you realizing things, yeah? And that's creating this awareness because there is a block between you and that. And it has to do with all of your trauma and your conditions and everything you learned. And it flips it on its head because what you were doing was operating from your ego, your programmed identity, and not from your limitless God self heart, because we were trained to not. We were trained that it was outside of us. We came from a lower consciousness. It's all okay, because now we have this grand opportunity in the most amazing time in history where we all get to experience this. And as we all move towards that, then we start creating heaven on earth, because this is the dream that you have in your heart. And you have this dream in your heart, right? And this is the way to get there. But through this wall is all of the fears that came out of your box. See, now this is the 4D, like we're sitting there. This becomes very fluid, where now you're seeing all of your stuff, the stuff that you have been suppressing, denying, avoiding. This is all of your fears, your judgments, your limiting beliefs, all of your stuff. And that can be really hard to look at. But as they say in King Arthur, the difference between a man and a king, the king doesn't look away. You have to look at everything in order to rule your kingdom. And where is the kingdom? Inside of you. The kingdom of God, the kingdom of heaven is inside of you. It's all in. It's all yin. It's all feminine. So when we start going within, as within, so without. So our internal world starts changing into this as we keep embracing this. And then you become the ruler of your heart, which means you are obeying your heart, which means you're in control. Because down here, you are controlled by what? Codependency. That is the enslavement. Codependency. If this, then that. You have to be this way in order to be loved. You have to do this. You're always kind of looking outside of yourself. You're always outside of yourself. You're not in here. And that's distraction through addictions, through pining and beating yourself up, and all of the things that we do that hurt ourselves. So it's truly body reverence, it's body love, it's feelings love, it's getting in tune with yourself, because in here is a very different thing than in there. And then that crossover is where you feel like you lost everything because you lost this box and the identity that came with it. And now that you're awakened to that, you have no other choice but to go on the hero's journey and follow your heart. And your heart will bring you to all the perfect conversations and circumstances and experiences if you have the courage to follow it. This is the path of courage. This is fear itself. This is love. So this is the realm of fear, and this is the realm of love. This is heaven, this is hell. It's really quite simple, actually. And this is the wall of separation where you have to remove and clean your slate of all of your control and fear-based stuff. Up here is bliss. It is joy. Now, it's not that 100% of the time, but what we're looking for is mostly this. Your emotions are amazing navigators. This feels negative, this feels icky, and this feels good. So, the way to navigate through is your emotions and listening to them and taking that energy and working with it and being your best friend and loving yourself and understanding your feelings and moving through your fears and having the courage to be yourself, because this is literally who you are. This is yourself. And this is yourself in a box that is codependent on everybody else's expectations, what society taught you, what you were trained to believe was right, who you think you should be, all of the other bullshit. So it really is kind of like Alice in Wonderland going down the rabbit hole. But the Pandora's box is open when you have an awakening. And that is when it turns into a nightmare, and it is painful and it is scary. But all you gotta do is just keep moving through it, keep walking forward, keep choosing life, because just believe that you have this in you. You have that happy version of you in you. And that happy version of you doesn't need to be anything other than the you who loves you, because at some point you're going to realize that everything is a mirror and you can change the mirror. So as you go through your life experience, anything that you feel negative about someone else, even if it is their fault, even if they caused it, you take your power back when you stop blaming external circumstances and you bring it back in and you love yourself and you change your beliefs on that by self-love. I choose to forgive this because I love myself, and I know that hatred is only something that is within me, and it doesn't serve me to operate from hatred, because then I'm in this box. Now and then I'm in hell. I'm literally in hell if I hate. Doesn't matter what happened. You literally have to take whatever happened and emotionally sit with that pain and process it and continue to understand and release it. And that turns into wisdom. And then wisdom becomes your superpower, because that is your divine genius and the destiny or reason why you actually came here to go through that experience. Because you went through that experience to evolve and bring a higher consciousness to your lineage or the world, depending on, what your plan is. And everybody has their own God-given plan, because this is your God self and this is your disempowered self. And your God self has a vision, has a plan, has a dream. And you cannot make that dream with your mind. It comes from the heart, your sacred mind, opening your heart And then that vision comes through. But you have to sift and sort through the smoke and mirrors of your fears. So, good luck.